Hello my friends, this is Linol Anderson here with you guys with a brand new YouTube BitChute video. Today's just going to be a quick one, but we have to discuss what happened yesterday. We had a major cyber event with systems going down worldwide, globally. Whether that was the airports that were affected or the banks or different companies went down. It was a major event, okay? It suspended travel all over the world. A lot of people couldn't access their money. And my friends, I've been telling you guys something like this was going to happen for a long time now, okay? They are planning massive cyber events to shut down the supply chain and to aid in the chaos that's going on worldwide. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. So just encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button. As I say, subscribe to survive, and smash the like button. And let's just get into it. So to show you guys what went on, I got a couple videos that explains it perfectly. Okay, take a look.
The global IT outage that occurred today, July 19, 2024, was allegedly caused by a misconfigured update from Microsoft. The issue has been reported to originated from a change in the configuration of the Microsoft Wide Area Network (WAN) router, which led to incorrect routing of network traffic. This caused disruptions across multiple Microsoft 365 services, including Outlook, Teams, OneDrive for Business, Exchange Online, and SharePoint. In addition to the WAN router issue, there was a reported secondary problem linked to the security software CrowdStrike's Falcon sensor, which contributed to blue screen of death, BSOD errors on many Windows devices. This compounded the impact of the outage, affecting various sectors globally, such as airlines, banks, and emergency services. Airports experienced a global ground stop, and emergency services like 911 operators in the U.S. faced disruptions. Microsoft responded by implementing mitigation measures, including redirecting traffic and repairing Azure servers. They have been updating users through their service health channels and social media. CrowdStrike also acknowledged the issue and is working on a fix for the Falcon sensor problem. This incident highlights the interconnectedness of global IT infrastructure and the significant consequences of a single misconfiguration, underscoring the need for robust and thoroughly tested updates and configurations in critical systems.
To be an issue between CrowdStrike and Microsoft. So CrowdStrike, for those that aren't familiar, is a cybersecurity firm that basically provides businesses with a way to foolproof their systems from being hacked. Now, apparently what happened was that CrowdStrike was working on some sort of update. We just heard from the CEO in the last few minutes describing this as not a security incident or cyber attack. So I don't repeat that again. It doesn't appear to be a cyber attack at issue here. But the reason why CrowdStrike is so instrumental to not just businesses here in the United States, but around the world, is because any sort of business that hires CrowdStrike to basically foolproof their systems, well, they're going to be incorporating that into their computers. So if they get that, it's being plugged into Microsoft computers. If there's an issue with CrowdStrike, it takes down all of those Microsoft computers that are related to that. The company's saying Mac and Linux computers are not impacted.
There you go, my friends. And I want to say, never forget what old Klaus Schwab said. I believe back in 2020, or was it 2021? Take a look.
All know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
That's right, my friends. So as you can see, they're not saying this was a cyber attack per se, but I would argue that it still was a cyber attack, but not in the sense that it's an attack from another country like Russia or China, but more so an attack from the globalist NWO elites on us humans. Because what you guys gotta realize is that who is behind the CrowdStrike company, okay? Take a look. There you go. As you can see, we got BlackRock, Vanguard, which are the two most powerful globalist companies in the world that pretty much own everything, and other globalist entities. Okay? So it's very clear that they are the ones behind this when we know, coming straight from Klaus himself, the WEF, that there's an agenda to impose cyber events on humanity. And then the other company involved is Microsoft, which everybody has Microsoft these days. Well, we know who's behind that now, don't we? Bill Gates. So it's not a coincidence that this happened. And I've been warning you guys for many years that this was coming. And this is just the beginning. This was a test run, my friends. This was a test run for much bigger things that are coming. Because the end goal agenda is to get people onto the digital IDs, to get them on the CBDCs, the new currency, collapse the current economy, which this is a perfect way to do it by shutting down the supply chains through cyber events. Okay, that'll crash the dollar in no time. And then they're going to come in as the saviors. Oh, we got a new solution. We'll give you a new currency. We'll give you universal basic income. You get free money. But that way you're going to be tracked and traced, everything you do. And you're also going to have to do whatever the government tells you to get your money. Okay? Which includes taking all the things that they want you to get. Because of course they're going to launch a new sickness on you. And if you don't take everything they want you to take, sorry, you're not getting your money, which means you're not getting your food. That's the plan. So, we got to not comply with anything that they try to put on us, and we got to be prepared, my friends. We have to be prepared. And I've been telling you guys to be prepared because if you're one of these peoples in these countries where their systems did go down and you didn't have money, how are you going to buy yourself food? How are you going to buy yourself water? People are going to go into panic. Once the big one strikes, what are you going to do if you're not prepared? Because most of humanity is not prepared. They're going to panic. They're going to go panic buying. Okay? And once they get really hungry, they're going to start turning into animals and harming other people to take their stuff. Okay? So it'll be very dangerous for you to be going out on the streets. If you're starving too, you're trying to find food and this and that. There's going to be maniacs out there. The whole system's going to go crazy. So the best thing I could recommend for you guys, first of all, you want to get your money out of the banks, because when the big event does happen, you won't be able to access your cash if you only have cards, because the banking systems will be down. So you want to have cash on hand, because it's possible if something happens, maybe if you can get to a grocery store or a place that has supplies, maybe they'll be accepting cash at that point. So you're going to want to have cash on hand. That's the first thing. And then is to start stocking up on food and water right now, and don't delay, because 2024 is the year. Make no doubt about it, with the American elections going on. Okay? Plus, I believe we're in the second seal of Revelations. Take peace from the earth. I believe massive cyber events are going down this year. Okay? So you got to start preparing. So get yourself cans of food, water filtration. Also, you could take it up a notch, and you could get a food bucket from Heaven's Harvest. Okay? This is organic food buckets. Lasts you up to 25 years. Freeze-dried food. This is great for long term. I always tell people cans are good like in the immediate situation, but for this problem that we're going to be going through, you got to see that the food supply chains are going to be shot after this. And eventually that canned food's going to be no good. So this is going to last you up to 25 years. So definitely look into getting the food buckets, okay? And obviously that'll run out someday too. So get yourself a seed kit and start growing food. Get your own garden going. You got to get your own seed kits. Those are heirloom non-GMO seeds. I'll leave the link to Heaven's Harvest down below in the description. And if you use the code that I provide, you get 10% off and free shipping in the United States. But now's the time, my friends, to prepare now. Because time is running out. And if you haven't been preparing this whole time, when this does happen, on a much bigger scale than what just happened yesterday, you're going to be one of these people who are going to be going around trying to find food, getting desperate, panicking. And you're going to be in danger when you're out on the streets doing that, because other people are going to be going crazy. All these people, once things goes down, humanity's going to go crazy, okay? People aren't going to have access to medications. Ever thought about that? Most of America and North America, they're loaded on prescription medications. Antidepressants, benzodiazepines, pain pills. What's going to happen once they no longer have their pills? Withdrawal. What happens when somebody goes through withdrawal? They go crazy. And what happens when a crazy person is hungry and hasn't eaten in days? Oh, it's not going to be good. So if you're on medications too, I would recommend going to your doctor and getting a few months' supply, if they would front that to you. Because that's a major thing people got to realize. If you don't have your medication, the grid goes down, it's going to be hell on earth, the withdrawal. Okay? These are all things you got to think about. Some people need this medications just to survive. If they don't have their medication, they'll literally die. So if you're one of those people, you got to think of these things. You got to be prepared. Because they are saying with what we had yesterday, it was pretty much like Y2K. Everybody had these fears about Y2K. And that's pretty much what went down. On a smaller scale. But when the big one does happen, it'll be like that. Okay? And obviously, this is all inside job. As we took a look at all the globalists behind this. This is all part of the agenda. And something you guys got to look out for is, I believe, in September 11th. Okay? We all know that day, September 11th, big occult day. That's when their cyber polygon simulation happens. Every year they do something called cyber polygon, and it's like a simulation on what would happen if a cyber attack happens. And I remember, I don't think it was last year, it may have been like 2 or 3 years ago, when they were doing their little cyber polygon, or the days that were supposed to be scheduled. I think they ended up saying, oh, it got cancelled or something. In Canada here, we had a Canada-wide Rogers outage. Rogers is our phone company, online banking. A lot of stores, ATMs use Rogers, okay, internet. And I use Rogers, and yeah, I couldn't access internet, and I couldn't use the bank, none of that. It was all down for over 24 hours. And it caused lots of disruptions, okay? But that was supposed to be the simulation day. But you could see, instead of doing a simulation, they carried out real world, my friends. They actually did it as a test run. So, just a heads up. Cyber Polygon 2024, September 11th. Is it possible we will see another test run, or maybe a real run? I don't know. All I know is they're planning something massive, because we got the elections coming up. Alright? And they want chaos. They want civil war. We see what's going on in America with Donald Trump and Biden and this and that. We know the agendas are speeding up big time. And we know that they're about to make their move. Now, hopefully their agenda fails massively. Just because this is their plan doesn't mean they're going to be successful with it, right? So we got to count on people being prepared for this, and people not resorting to chaos, not resorting to divide and conquer, not going out harming each other, but rather working together. And when they come back online, people got to resist their problem, reaction, solution agenda to bring in the CBDC digital ID. But it's going to be hard because this is going to damage the economy big time. And people are going to be in a crisis mode once the big one does happen. So it's going to be difficult. We just got to pray their agenda does not go the way they want it to go, and that the damage can be mitigated by good people who work in these fields, who are trying to solve these problems, and that the globalists don't get their way and it doesn't go according to plan. Okay? And do your best not to comply with anything they do. Once they come and say, once you're starving, first off, and once they come and say, hey, we're going to take your house now too, you can't afford to pay your house because you lost all your money. Oh, but you could keep your house, but you got to have the CBDC. Well, unfortunately, I think a lot of people are going to give in to it. But let's hope not. Let's be optimistic. Let's be positive and say humanity's going to get through this and enough people will not comply and it's going to fall through. Maybe be prevented altogether because we raise enough awareness. Okay? We will wait. We will see what happens. Do not fall into fear. Just be prepared, my friends. No fear. Just be prepared. Okay? So the links down below. I'm also on Patreon as well, my friends. If you want to join Patreon for exclusive content, you got a bunch of different classes. And I also just opened up a group chat so you could chat with me and the rest of the Patreon family. So if that's something you're interested in, you could join as low as $1 a month. You come meet like-minded people. So the link to that is down below. Or you could simply buy old Linol a coffee for his efforts out on the website. Buy me a coffee. And as a thank you, I would send you some free Patreon videos to your email because I do appreciate it. And I want to see some comments from you guys down below on what you think about the situation and maybe some suggestions on how humanity could get through this and not succumb to the CBDCs and all that agendas. We got to come up with a game plan, just like how they're prepared and they plan out events. We got to be prepared and plan out our responses to these events so that we don't get enslaved. We need to be organized just how they are. Okay, my friends? So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. Links are all down below. Until next time, Linol signing off. You guys stay safe. I got that Trump video coming up next, okay? About the suspicious things about the Trump event. So that'll be tomorrow or next day, okay? Till then, Linol signing off.